Hey team, so I want to take a minute to talk about injuries. Now that is a part of jiu-jitsu, but it doesn't need to be a big part. We can break injuries down into two ways. There are acute injuries and chronic injuries, and we need to address them purposefully. So acute injuries happen when you're training real hard and you explode for something and then something pops or something tweaks. Acute injuries can be prevented from training properly. I think we should train at that 70% rule, where you're working, but you're not working too hard and everything is slow and under control. If you stay in that mode of training, you're very much less likely to get hurt because there just aren't opportunities to get hurt. Injuries usually happen in some violent explosion, and that's part of training, but it doesn't need to be a part of your everyday training. So acute injuries can be taken care of just by training at a slow and steady pace. Chronic injuries are different. Chronic injuries are those that build up over time, where it starts out with a little bit of tension in the muscle that gets worse and worse and worse and worse until something tears. And that happens over time. And it's our job to pay attention and listen to our body. Most soft tissue injuries can be taken care of with a foam roller and stretching. Our fundamentals class ends class with stretch. You'll notice a lot of the senior students on the edge after class are always lying on a foam roller. They're always stretching. We can attend to chronic injuries. We can prevent them from growing. It's our responsibility to do so. And responsibility is a funny word because all our injuries are our own responsibility. If the acute injury happens because I exploded at the wrong time, that's my fault. And if a chronic injury happens because this tension built up in my hamstring over the months and I neglected it, and then one day I go do a shot and I pull my hamstring, that's my fault too. So I think we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to how we train, make sure it's at a safe, slow, steady pace, and pay attention to our body. Listen to our body. It's always talking to us. There's this idea that the whisper of the body, when ignored, becomes a scream. And that's what injury is. So we need to just listen to our body and pay attention and feel it out. If something's tight, we foam roll, we stretch. And if something is tight, if something is hurting, let your partner know, because it's our job to take care of each other. And I love how every live training, when we slap hands and go, you always hear guys say, hey, watch my shoulder, or I messed up this hand, if you can watch this hand. We're here to take care of each other. So you need to take care of yourself by avoiding acute injuries and by listening to chronic pain, but also talking to your partner, have open communication. And together we'll all keep each other healthy. And the more we stay on the mat, the more likely we are to use this as a vehicle for personal development. And then all our other goals will get taken care of.